now I get this Kanye West song out of my head. Let everything that I have that has breath praise the Lord. However that goes, I can't get that line out of my head. Let everything that has breath praise the Lord. Okay, let's start our day with that. It's not a bad idea. I'm out in the wild, so if you see me moving around, looking around, it's because I'm just trying to stay hyper aware of my environment. Okay. Yeah. Welcome to the morning message. So y'all, welcome to the morning message. I guess it's morning messages. Welcome to the morning message. My name is Allah-mi. I will be your lovely tour guide today. I'm an intuitive self-mastery coach. Every Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 Eastern, I do a live, intuitive, channeled message. And that's what we're going to do here today. So thank you for joining. Thank you for playing. Make sure you like this video if you enjoy it along the way. I channel these live intuitive messages not knowing what the nature of the message is going to be beyond the title. I got the title dropped in me and that's it. Okay. I don't even remember the title, quite honestly. I remember the theme, but I don't remember the title. Makes me know, never mind. We just gonna share whatever divine wisdom comes through. We're gonna take what resonates, leave whatever doesn't for our friends, okay? Take what resonates, leave whatever doesn't. If you are here, it's not by accident, it's by divine alignment and divine appointment. So you might as well stick around and hear what the message is, okay? I have 3 different decks. I have a tarot deck today. I have a couple oracle decks, and we're gonna pull some cards, get some messages, and get the hell on for our day. By the way, happy Tuesday. It's Tuesday for most of you. I love that I have viewers from all over the world, so it'd be all times of the day when y'all listen to these things, and I'm grateful for that. Okay. So whatever time this greets you, may it greet you well, may it greet you right on time to deliver the insight and wisdom that you can use right now. Okay. For anybody who wants to learn more about me, what I do, and how I be doing it, go to begreateveryday.com. 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 I feel like y'all need a little water. I feel like you need a little bit of water in your life. See that line where the light blue reaches the dark blue? Just watch that line for a second. That's what I do. I just watch that line between the ocean and the sky. I just watch that freaking line. And I just meditate right at that place where the sky meets the ocean, as far as the eye can see. Yes, we have a shipwreck boat here full time. But as far as the eye can see what you can see as far as the eye can see. It's a great meditation to start the day. Or at least, I think so. All right, so let's get into the thick of things. I welcome y'all to the morning messages. Again, feel free to have a seat, grab something warm to drink. If you have the time to give it your undivided attention, do so. If not, you're just listening, that's all good too, okay? We got the ants over here just working real hard to pick up the last of my little breakfast crumbs. Nature doing what nature do. Okay, guys, get on. No ants over here. Okay? All right, let's get into this. All right, hold tight while it loads. If you're in the chat and you want to say hello, I love that. It's nice to know I'm talking to some people. I always find it interesting that people are like, yeah, I listen to your morning message all the time. I never see them in the chat. They never say hi or leave a comment or engage in real time. but they be watching. It's a lot of you who do that. Some of you, I can feel your energy. Others, I can't. I'm surprised. All right, so I have this tarot deck. I'm starting with the tarot deck. And I feel like starting with, even as I see this card that just happened to catch my attention, this Nine of Swords, I feel like I want to start with problems. I really do. I feel like I want you to be thinking about, like, what's the big problem in your life right now? What's the one thing that you've been deliberating, trying to figure out, trying to get clarity? They're giving me the word deliberating, meaning you've been weighing out the pros and cons, or you've been unpacking all the levels of it. It's something like that, something you've been giving a lot of mental time and attention to. Dare I say something that's keeping you up at night and stressing you out, okay? That's what it's giving. Problems. What are the problems in the forefront of your life right now, okay? I'm gonna ask you to just think about those things for a second, okay? Like, why would I want to think about my goddamn problems this first thing in the morning? Just follow along for a second, okay? It might help. So it's like, pay attention to your problems. And then I got this Empress energy card. It's like, okay, and I want you to reflect on what could make it all better. Without you having to lift a muscle, do a thing, what do you need to happen in order for your life to be reconfigured to where you like it? Okay, what would make you happy? This Empress energy is very much about creating outcomes in your life without force, without friction, without effort and brute force and effort. It's like manifestation kind of energy, okay? I want you all to be thinking about, what do you want? What would make it better? Whatever is stressing you out, whatever is at the forefront of your life, what would make it better? That's the first question. You might want to write these down, because I feel a series of questions that require deliberation, okay? More deliberation. So it's like, what is stressing me out? Okay, that's the first question. What would make it better? Okay. And the next question is, what is the risk that you could, I won't say should, I'll say the risk that you could take that would make it better? Okay, not just what are the conditions that would make my life easier, but what is the risk that you could take that would improve the situation? Okay? What's the problem? Okay, what's keeping you up at night? What's stressing you out? What would make it better? Okay? And then what risk could you take that would improve the outcomes? And if you want to be so bold to share it in the chat, I welcome that. This is how coaching happens in group form. You got to engage the conversation, okay? You can't afford to work with me one-on-one, you don't have to. When I show up in these live platforms and start asking rhetorical questions, like, this is an opportunity for you to start doing the work, okay? These are journal prompts. What's the big stressor in my life right now? What would make it better? And what is the risk that I could take that would improve the outcomes? Food for thought, okay? All right, so hold that. We're still building. Hold on. Hope you wrote these things down. I got a new bikini top. Isn't it cute? I thrifted this one too. And I thrifted this too. Actually, my whole outfit is thrifted. I thrifted this hat too for 50 cents. This for 50 cents. This for 50 cents. And I bought these shorts too for 50 cents. Even my fanny pack is thrifted. Everything for 50 cents. I love it. I do. All right, I'm back. Even oh no, actually this hat was a gift to me, but they bought it at a thrift also. I love it so much. All right, I'm still building in this message, okay? We haven't reached the crescendo yet. So, what's the risk you could take? All right, and then we've got the Ten of Cups, which is the happily ever after, literally, okay? So, it's like an equation, okay? This is a math problem. This is a math problem, kids. I know some of you will shut down just because of that, but this is simple math, okay? What's the problem? What can make it better? What risks do you need to take, okay, to improve the outcomes, okay? When you do 1, 2, and 3, 4 is this energy here. Happily ever after. Things work out. Even after challenge or difficulty, things still err in your favor, okay? You remember that card in the Monopoly game? It says bank error $200. You automatically get the $200. You'll have to pass go or nothing. Like, that's what happens when you follow these directions. Identify your stressors. What's in the way? What's the risk you could take? Take said risk, and then this is what happens. Things work out. Outcomes are to your preference. Everything gets resolved. Everything you love comes forward. People you love get served and benefit. Okay? Ten of Cups is all about happily ever after. These messages, they just be too simple. I can't even take it. You're like, is that simple? Yes. Yes. Some of y'all might go as far as to identify the problems, right? You know what the fuck is stressing you out. You may even identify some of the things that could make it better, okay? Very rarely do we spend a lot of time focused on what risk we could take to make it better. We usually try to avoid risk, okay? Risk feels scary, especially when you're already scared. It doesn't feel good to think about taking on more risk. It feels like you should be seeking more safety, right? So we're not really looking to put ourselves out there. Okay. And then we start asking, like, what would happen if I actually took the risk that I see before me I could take? Even when y'all start playing out the scenario, the risk you could take is always going to the worst case possibility. All the shit you don't want to happen. We don't think about risk and possibility and languish in the goodness that can come as the byproduct of it. How we can win, how we can grow and expand. When we start thinking about risk, we think about how much we stand to lose, how much embarrassment will accompany it, how much judgment and criticism the people outside of us will give us, how much we'll give ourselves, how much shame, how much guilt, how much more worry, because now if that doesn't work out, I gotta figure out something. Like, we don't go to, man, if I take this risk and it all works out, all of my needs are met. All of my concerns are no longer a concern. All of the provision I've been seeking comes right into full view. Man, there's no void, there's only abundance. We don't go down that road. We should, but we don't. But we don't. These are weird messages. I'm just gonna let it sit there. It's like I feel like I'm supposed to expand, but it's just like, nope, that's it. That's it. We don't do the work of calculating the risk that we could take, and we don't calculate the risk in terms of our benefit. We'll do it in terms of the risk, but not the benefit. We'll do it in terms of the cost, not the benefit. Today feels like a day of really centering in on the benefit of our risk. If I did the scary thing, or if I did the obvious thing that I could do that feels unnerving, or doesn't feel quite as safe as I wanted to, or it's not quite as clear as I prefer, if I lean into this risk and do this shit, start this business, leave this job, start this relationship, end this marriage, if I relocate, if I stay right here, like whatever the decision is that's stressing you the fuck out, if you actually lean into the risk of it all, it's gonna work out. That's the bottom line. It's going to. It's not, could it? It's going to work out. That's the math. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I told you the equation already. I don't need to say it again. I've said it already. Okay. Starts with you identifying the problem. What's what can make it better? What's the risk you could choose? And then choose that shit. Okay. If you're really smart, you'll use this chat as an opportunity to start holding yourself accountable. What's the risk that you could take that you're not taking right now? Is it talking to your boss? Having a heart-to-heart with your partner? What's the risk? What's the risk? Because whatever it is, you got to surrender to it. Whatever the risk feels like for you. What's up, Chris? Whatever the risk feels like for you, this message today is about surrendering to it. It's gonna work out. And it's not gonna work out because I said so. It's gonna work out because you say so. Because you feel like it will, you're just doubting it. So all I'm doing is giving you permission to remove the doubt that you have. You don't have to doubt it. It feels good, it feels right, it looks aligned, and you're still scared. It's like you're supposed to do it. You won't know what happens until you do it. You won't reap the benefit of the outcome until you take the risk, okay? The risk is worthy. The risk is worthy. I have a friend who is grappling with coloring her hair. She's got beautiful dreadlocks, beautiful long dreadlocks. She's been growing for a long time. She wants to color her hair and she wants to go really light, okay, like blonde, really light. And she's been grappling with this decision for weeks, and she's supposed to. She's got an emotional authority, so she should be weighing out this decision and seeing how she feels about it repeatedly over time until she's ready to, move forward with it. But she keeps going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And I create space for her process. That's her process of coming to her truth, is like feeling it out over time. Well, her hair isn't causing a challenge, but she's here. She's in a season of rebirth. She wants a new look. We women, we know how that is. What's up, Katsia? We know, no, Kat Yusa. Yeah, we know how that feels to want to reinvent ourselves, right? We need some new energy. We need a new look. We just need a little mojo, right? So she's not really like standing to lose anything, or it's not like stressing her out so much. It's not stressing her out. It's just a decision that she wants to make in her life, right? It's a change she wants to make in her life. And if we were to ask her, like, what's standing in her way, it's like only she's standing in her way, right? She's the one that can determine, okay, I'm going to do it today and it's done. Okay. But what's the risk? Okay. So we think hair color, it's not that big a deal. It's hair color. It's, if your hair is dark and you want to go light, you go light. If you don't like it, you can always go back dark. Okay. And I know I've said that to her. And I know other people have said that to her. If you don't like it, you can always go back. And oddly enough, that's how life is with a lot of things. Maybe not everything, right? If you break up with somebody, you don't necessarily get to go back. Maybe you do. Okay. But if you move away from what you know to be familiar, what's your home territory, if you move away, you can always go back, right? If you change your style or your hair color, you can always go back. If you switch your job, you may not always be able to go back, but you can always go back, right? You can always find another job, okay? So this art of like surrender is like recognizing, how do I want to say it? It's like, I'll just say it like this. It's like recognizing just because you make a decision, if that decision doesn't work out, it doesn't mean you crash and burn. It just means you get to make another decision after that. And oftentimes that decision can be to go back to what's familiar. She doesn't like her hair color, she can go back dark to what's familiar. Okay. We always have the option to go back toward what's familiar. But it's a lot of energy around getting it out of our mind that if we do something, it's not going to work out. It's like getting it out of your mind that if I do this, it may not work out. No, it's like if you do this, it's going to work out. You're only going to do this if it's going to work out. You're only doing this because you anticipate that it's going to work out. Okay, it's a lot of energy around forecasting positivity over the unknown as opposed to expecting negativity. Okay, forecasting positivity. I mean, as the video suggests, it's a lot of energy around surrender and really learning how to sit in surrender. It's like the reason why we don't want to take risk is we don't want to surrender. We don't want to let go of control because we have a perceived sense of control over our life. And if we're not exercising that control, that means our life feels out of control. Okay, it feels out of control. So I know we're going to have another episode of this where we're talking about what does it just feel like to live life out of control? What does that actually feel like? Does it mean you just don't care and you're not giving any adequate thought or attention to things that matter? It's just like, yeah, whatever. No. Actually, when you live your life out of control, it's probably the most in control you'll ever be. When you recognize that you don't get to control every little piece and parcel of your experience and instead you sink into this notion of change and adaptability as a norm, knowing that life requires us to pivot, requires us to show up in ways we didn't expect, and that is the norm. When we talk about pivoting, or redirecting our attention in real time when something pisses us off, that hard pivot means you got to learn how to surrender and let go of some shit in real time. You got to learn how to let go of expectations in real time. You got to learn how to let go of how something you feel should play out, what the path or the sequence of events should be. Like, that be fucking us up a lot. We think things should unfold in a certain sequence of events, and as soon as it doesn't do that, then we start feeling fear and angst and upset and worry, confusion. Like, oh shit, I don't know what's going on. It didn't go the way I thought it was gonna go. As opposed to mastering the art of the pivot and welcoming in a new possibility in real time. Okay. In real time, which means that you got to let go of whatever the expectation was to begin with. All right, let's keep it moving. Getting a little warm out here. Art of surrender. The art of surrender is so integral to us getting what we want out of life. That's the craziness. We think in order for us to get what we want, we got to control it. It's just the opposite. Just the opposite. You got to control yourself if you want to get what you want out of life. Look at that. Card says bonding with the rhythm of life. Yeah, and this is how it works. Want to talk about it? Want to hear it? Here we go. Bonding with the rhythm of life. I feel all philosophical. Bonding with the rhythm of life. There's nobody out here to care. But for real, bonding with the rhythm of life doesn't mean that I've got it all figured out. I got a plan and a strategy for every occasion and I'm never going to fail. That's not what bonding with the rhythm of life. The rhythm of life has ebbs and flows, right? It expands and then it contracts, okay? It opens up to abundance and then it brings us back down to humility, right? What we might call humility. Bonding with the rhythm of life is recognizing that change is the only constant. Bonding with the rhythm of life is knowing that you've got to learn how to let go in as much as you've got to learn how to allow in, okay? As they say, bonding with the rhythm of life is like breathing. You got to inhale and exhale. You got to do both. You can't just be giving and never receiving and expecting to live in flow and harmony with the rhythm of life, okay? So there is this kind of ebb and flow of how we are meant to live our regular lives. We're not meant to live our life with what do you call it? Indignation and kind of this stern approach, these rigid rules and a rigid approach to how we manifest and how we make outcomes happen in our life. No, you gotta go with the fucking flow. Literally. Ebb and flow. Okay? It's like things are flowing in a way that feel good, and then they may retract a little bit. And it doesn't mean it's not flowing in a way that feels good. It means it just kind of ebbed a little bit so it can keep flowing. Okay, it's an ebb and flow. Surrender is part of that ebb and flow. Sometimes in order to flow, you gotta surrender. And I say sometimes lightly. I'm saying that word really lightly. I'm being really considerate to say that. You gotta fucking surrender all the time. You know, a quick way to be pissed off all the time with life is to think that you're in control. It's to think that what you want to do and how you want to do it actually fucking matters in the grand scheme, okay? It's like we are co-creating with life at all times. Ebb and flow is that co-creation. If it's just us, we looking full steam ahead and it's only up. We're not doing no ebbing back. We're just only up, okay? And we know that's not realistic. We know that, but we don't act like it. We still have the expectation that things flow perfectly, without error, without mistake, without challenge, without inquiry. We just expect things to be smooth, okay? And that's the level of perfection we're looking for in our lives. So it's like, why isn't everything perfect, okay? Why isn't this going my way? Why is so-and-so acting like that? Why do the conditions, make me have to do this, that, and the other? It's like we be bucking up against the reality of life that causes us to do that ebb and flow. It's like we get what we want, we don't get what we want. And when we don't get what we want, we learn. Oh, we get more of what we want, okay? And I don't get what I want, but I'm learning. Oh, okay. That contraction between the abundance and then the pulling back from, it's like, oh, things are great. No, things are not great. It's like it's always going great. It's like trending. In the stock market, it doesn't just go up, it trends up. There's a dip and a rise, a dip and a rise, a dip. And that's how life works, you guys. That is what we mean by ebb and flow. If you don't learn how to surrender in the ebb, just think about it. I mean, unfortunately, I've heard some stories about some folks that have had some real troubles with the ocean, navigating the ocean. You're not going to win against the ocean. As a single person, you're not going to win against the ocean. You got to learn how to befriend that water and go with the flow of that water if you want to stay safe out there. Okay, life is no different. You want to befriend life and all of the challenges that come with it and learn how to move with the motion. Because what happens, you get stuck and now you're getting beat up by life because you want things to be this way and it's not. Life is causing you to sway. And you're like, no, I want this, like this. Okay, so bonding with the rhythm of life is about going with the flow. It is about allowing and receiving. It's like a very karmic relationship. It's like giving and receiving. Okay, you can't just take without giving, and the reverse is also true. I know it's very noble to be a giver. I know everybody celebrates and sings the praises of a giver as, oh, they're so nice, they're so kind, they're so generous, and they're also so imbalanced. Okay, there's also a severe imbalance energetically. People who don't know how to receive but only know how to give are unhealthy. Okay, they're probably getting sick because there's an energetic constipation. There's no circulation. Okay, there's a energetic constipation. It's funny. Hey, that's what they say. That's what they say. Energetic constipation. You get stuck. And it's like you get stuck being the person that's always the giver and nobody expects you to be the receiver. You get stuck playing the role of the giver. Oh, you're a people pleaser? You let everybody have their way and forgo your own needs and feelings? Guess what? Everyone's going to expect you to be that way all the time. And you're going to have a hard time breaking out of that mode because you continually reinforce it. Okay. Woo! So we need ebb and flow. Okay. There are moments in time where you and your ego mind are in the driver's seat. You get to call all the shots and make all the moves. There are times where Spirit wants you to make decisions, okay? And wants you to evaluate information. And that is your job, to evaluate information and to discern, to decide what is right and best for you. Beyond that, you're not running shit. And the quicker we figure that out, the better. You hear me say a lot of times, I don't want to run shit. I'm not trying to figure it out. I'm trying to channel it and trying to get a divine download of inspiration, wisdom for it. That's how I want to come to know it. Or I want to come to know it through my gut wisdom. Okay, I ain't trying to figure shit out in my brain. I ain't trying to come to no logical conclusions about shit, because logic does not feed my spiritual growth. Okay? It just doesn't. In fact, logic starts to hinder me spiritually, because when things don't make sense and Spirit is telling me to move forward anyway, I'm like, hey, what the fuck? The hell? Okay? So surrender really is a skill that we have to master. You got to learn how to let shit go, how to release it, how to allow, how to accept other versions of reality, how to accept it in real time. That's what happens when we surrender. We let go of a perspective or of a desire or want. Okay, we let it go. Surrender it. Let it go. And I don't just let it go because I have to let it go. I let it go because I want to let it go. Okay? I don't need to keep believing this belief about my worst case scenario. I'm just going to freely let that go. And I'm going to surrender to this process. Okay? Whew. Surrender is a willingness to let go of something. A person, a place, a thing, a belief, situation. Willingly. You willingly let it go, knowing that you have everything you need still. Okay? There's a lot of energy around that. What you talking about, Chris? Even with my kids, watching them fall apart like this wasn't my bingo card, but I'm getting better. It's still hard. Yeah. Things not being in sequence is something I truly have to tackle. That whole part, girl. Yeah. I experienced that so much. It's like, and I think this is the life of being an intuitive person and living intuitively, is that you don't get all of the details in a linear, logical fashion. You get signs, symbols, and clues as you go, and it's like a puzzle. You get one clue one day, another clue another day, and they may not look like they immediately touch together as like, oh, this, then that. So then you got to wait for the clue in the middle that drops down 2 weeks later. Oh, that's why I had this and that. Boom. Okay? So, yeah, life don't be unfolding in a linear fashion. And that whole trust the process language, when I tell you to trust the process, that's what it means. It means that the process is unfolding and you may not get all the data, facts, and evidence in a very comfortable way that gives you clarity every step of the way. You might get the first step and the fourth step, and then you got to wait for steps 3 and 2 to just drop down so you can have the clarity of 1, 2, 3, 4 steps that you're supposed to take next. But you right now only have step 1. Okay? And the next step you get is 4, and you're like, what the fuck am I supposed to do at 4? What's supposed to happen in the meantime? You got to wait. You got to wait to get the next couple steps. And sometimes we don't want to wait because we want to know. Which is another aspect of surrender, is to want to know. We don't want to do nothing until we know what to expect or what exactly to do at every stage and every step. We want to know how it's going to work out or what's going to be the outcome. We want to know. And it's hard to want to know and try to manifest something. Because your wanting to know means that you also have a vision of what it's supposed to look like. I want to know what's going to happen in the next 5 years of my life. I want to know. Some of you want to know what's going to happen in the next year. And it's okay to want to know. But if you're not creating any plans or taking any steps forward toward anything that you want just because you don't know how all the steps are going to play out, like, you're going to stay stuck for a lifetime. Because you're never going to get the A to Z plan. That's not how faith works. That's not how trust works. That's not how surrender works. Surrender is a required aspect of manifestation. You come up with the vision and then you surrender it. You let it go. You release it. You're not holding on to it. You're not fact checking for it every second of the day. Like, did this happen yet? Is this happening now? You let it go. Let it go. I know y'all thought I was about to start singing Let It Snow. No, I'm not doing it. Our job is to master the art of surrender, you guys. You want to gain control over your life, master the art of surrender. Yep. Master the art of surrender. You want to gain control over your life, master the art of surrender. Allowing, detaching, practicing non-resistance. Okay. Flow. Ease. Okay. Practicing releasing, letting go, redirecting your attention. Yeah, Crystal. That's everybody's job, is to master the art of surrender. Let that shit go. Whatever it is. Shame, guilt, worry, depression, fear, doubt, negative emotion, fear of success. Let that shit go. I love being up at this time of day, out in town. It's so fucking peaceful. All right, couple more cars and then we gonna dip. What's up, Najee? What's up, Essence? Yeah, girl. Here's the thing. Remember that Empress energy, that Empress card we saw in the tarot? Empress energy is all about surrender. Y'all know the Empress energy. Empress energy is like, it's like that badassery we was talking about the other day. The Empress knows who she is. She don't have to force nothing. She don't have to fight for nothing. She don't have to worry or be pressed about nothing. The fucking Empress sits back and lets the world come to meet her needs. Yes, she do. The Empress don't worry about shit. She knows she is deserving of the goodness she desires. And not only does she know she's deserving, she anticipates her needs being met. She's not questioning whether her needs will be met. She's anticipating. It's not if, it's when. That's Empress energy. The Empress is not pressed nor stressed about nothing. Never. It is just the opposite. It's like if somebody show up at the Empress door with no gift, it's like, where's your gift? I'm the Empress. You're supposed to bring, it's like getting on them. You're supposed to bring things that serve me. You're supposed to bring things that meet my needs. How dare you come over not prepared to serve the Empress? And we are all Empresses. I don't care if you're male or female, okay? It's an energy of expectation that life will serve you, that your needs will be met, that nothing will be lost, okay? That you will not long for anything. The Empress just sits and waits. And she don't wait with her fingernails bit off and that she's sweating to death. She waits sitting fucking pretty. She waits sitting pretty in her beautiful gowns and adornments. She sits knowing that those who are supposed to arrive will arrive to meet her needs. She ain't peeking out the window. She don't have the door crack. She just sitting in her throne waiting. Patiently, gratefully, graciously, knowing. So I don't know what y'all need to take from that, or I do know. Stop all this goddamn fear-mongering in your own life. Stop worrying about everything. Stop crying about everything. Stop acting like you don't have your needs met already in the ways that matter. Like, I want to just fuss at y'all, like, to tell y'all stop cutting up. Like, lock in. Quit feeling sorry for yourself. Okay? Know that when it's time that you'll get the phone call, you'll get the knock on the door, you'll get the direct deposit, you'll get the acknowledgement, you'll get the award, you'll get it, okay? You'll get the recognition. Sit pretty. Sitting pretty. Sitting pretty. Shout out to Ty Dolla $ign. Okay? Yeah, I love that energy too. What's up, Phil? Yeah. Yeah, let that shit go and live your life, period. Plain blank. Message done. I mean, for real, like, this is what I was talking about earlier. We don't sit in this type of frequency of the positive what ifs. What if all I had to do was just sit right here and stare at the ocean? Because that's what I'm feeling called to do. I'm just going to sit here and stare at the ocean like, well, Allah-mi, you can't get your needs met just sitting here staring at the ocean. I doubt that. Okay? I was sitting here staring at the ocean one day, and somebody walked up to me saying that they wanted to sow a seed into my business and support me. And I was like, damn, I'm just sitting here staring at the ocean. For you, you might be sitting there staring at the TV and then the phone rings. Or you might see somebody on TV that you know that now can create opportunity for you. Or maybe you're on the internet and you're seeing your friends, you know, explore new opportunities and get new opportunities handed to them that could easily slide on over to you, and you're just sitting at home watching TV, looking on the internet. Sometimes it's the simplest things that bring the greatest reward. Just sit your ass down. Remember that? Sit your ass down. Like, all I gotta do is be still and meditate, and then I get to manifest? Yes. Because in that quiet time of meditation, you're gonna get the download, the clarity, the new idea or the new approach. You're gonna remember the one person who said the one thing, who knows the thing, or who knows the person who knows the person. It's like whatever it is gonna drop down into you as soon as you just sit your ass down and surrender. You out here trying to do all the things to make it happen, and the best thing you can do, the most control you can ever express over your outer experience is when you just sit down and sit still. Because just in that moment, in that motion alone is trust. It's an embedded sense of trust. Like, I don't have to go do all the things. I don't have to make it happen. I don't have to take on all the burden and pressure of trying to create this outcome. It's not just me. I'm co-creating this. And see, we say shit like, well, yeah, I know I'm co-creating my world. I'm co-creating my world with God, with a higher spirit. I know this. And then don't leave no space for God. You got all the answers and all the details and everything's plugged into your little plan, and then there's no wiggle room for God to just show up and scrap all of that and make shit happen like this. All right. We got a few cards to wind us down. Najee said she needed to hear that. Yeah. I needed to hear that too. This Empress energy, I fucks with Empress energy because it's very low lift. I've been lifting a lot over the last 8, 9, 10 years. So I've been doing a lot of heavy lifting. Okay. I've been doing a lot of heavy lifting. And so to be reminded that I don't have to do the heavy lifting is very, very key. It's like, bitch, you don't have to work that hard. You don't have to make it that complicated. Okay? We be making it hard and complicated because we be trying to force the timing of things. We want it to happen now. We want it to happen fast. We want it to happen, under these conditions and not under that. We be having all kinds of details that we try to control for. Surrender. Hi, Vicky Lee. Oh, wow, really? Did a walk on the beach this morning, and Spirit was talking to me about this exact same thing, giving me kudos for surrendering to the unknown known. Yes, this is literally my reality, Essence says. I did my part, then sat still, and now opportunities are coming from everywhere. I literally found money on the beach, both going and coming. Let's go! Let's go. So y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm not saying this shit is easy. I'm a humanoid too. I know how this world and this dimension works. These pressures be feeling real. Okay, so when I'm talking about surrender, I'm not saying that it doesn't come without its challenges. I'm just pointing you in the direction of what still is the work. Okay, letting go, allowing, surrendering, practicing non-resistance, okay, allowing, accepting, okay, honoring the conditions as they come in, okay. How do you know when you're not in a place of surrender? Is you're saying things like, I wish this didn't happen. You keep trying to live a life as if it didn't happen. Because if this didn't happen, then da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. That be getting on my nerves. I be doing that shit too. We be writing alternative realities in our mind that aren't real. Yeah, because if I never had to deal with this, then I would have had this, that, and the other, da-da-da. We're in this whole fake world that doesn't exist because this happened. But we're like, if this never happened, then da-da-da-da. We're like in imagination land, okay? And then meanwhile, the reality of what has actually happened, we want to ignore. Okay. So it's not easy work, but it is still the work. Okay. Yep. Coming right to you, Vicky Lee. Yep. Jay says, this is where I am. All right. We preach it to the choir. I love it. All right. We got the last couple cards here. Come on. I am financially abundant. Money flows to me with ease. I'm done with y'all. I'm done. Y'all see the card. I just pulled this MF. I am financially abundant. Money flows to me with ease. Hey, okay. Vicky Lee got a testimony. I wanted to kind of start the message out with this, but it be feeling like kind of fake hype to me. Because sometimes my brain be like, yeah, I believe it when I see it. But I've been getting a lot of energy around money coming in, okay? And so it's giving, and I will speak to it just because the card is here, but I've been feeling it for the last couple weeks. Yeah, I feel like some of you will continue to find money. And it's not just like finding money on the ground or out in the world. It's like finding money in accounts you didn't realize you had, okay? It's like finding money in a bank account that you thought was closed. It's finding money in some kind of rebate, settlement, inheritance. It feels like surprise money, like money you didn't know was there, okay? So it may not necessarily be a new opportunity, but it feels like money that is already somewhere. Like you find money in a dresser or in a parent's account. You know, maybe they're deceased and you find an old account that they had. It's like there's a discovery. It's like finding money in a pocket of your jeans. I remember I found $100 in the fifth pocket of my jeans one time. I was in high school too. Why did I have that kind of money? Because I remember I'd gone to Vegas with my mom, and we were gambling, playing dollar slots. And I remember I kept winning. And then she gave me like $300 or $400, and I just stuffed it in my pocket. Found $100 bill later. But yeah, I like this message for us. It's giving like discovered treasure, like it's discovered money, not just earned money. Okay, it's money that you just discovered you had. Okay. So the affirmation says, I am financially abundant. Money flows to me with ease. I also feel like this is not just a fact of like finding money easily, but it's a reminder. Okay. It's like you are not separate from the money you need. All right. The money you need to do what you are here to do, that money is already earmarked for you. Okay. I know that's easy for me to say. And those of you who are sitting with bills and bill collectors calling you and demands on your resources, you're like, yeah, that sounds cute to know that the money's on its way, but where the fuck is it? Okay? Where the fuck is it? It's coming. That's all I can tell you. It is. It's coming. And in the meantime, you need to act like you know it's there already. And so it's like you're not just laying up waiting for this one bill to get paid every day. It's like you're moving on with your life. What else is on? Okay, so assuming that gets paid, what else you got to do? That's the kind of frequency it is. It's like so many of you will just stay stressed and pressed and stressed and pressed about how are you going to take care of this or that responsibility. And it's really for you to act like it doesn't exist, and not from the standpoint of you're ignoring it, but from the standpoint of it's finished. It's taken care of already. Okay, so because that's taken care of already, I don't need to continue to give it my mental energy or time or emotional effort. I just know that it's yeah, like Vic says, stop obsessing. Yeah, it's like you don't have to obsess over it because you know it's taken care of, so you can move on. What else do you need to focus on? Okay, well, I haven't paid my rent. I need to pay my rent. You know, the first is coming up, y'all. Okay, first coming up. But it's like, I need to pay my rent. How am I going to pay my rent? I don't need to pay my rent. And we stay stuck on that. And some of y'all be stuck on that for days. Because you're like, where's the money? Right? You're all on edge. So what would happen if you didn't do that? What would happen if you just accounted for, okay, that's taken care of. Even though you haven't seen the dollar signs yet, okay, that's taken care of. And then shift your mental energy, okay, what else do I need to focus on? Because I'm not going to worry about that. That's taken care of. So what else? What else? Okay? Like that's the kind of strategy you got to start employing with yourself. Okay? And if you need to like kind of language it in a sentence, it's like, assuming that is taken care of, what is the next thing on my to-do list? Like, move on. A lot of energy around that. Move on. Don't stay stuck. Because when you stay stuck, that means that you're believing that it's not going to happen. Okay? This card says, God created me to fulfill a unique purpose. I have a special gift to offer the world. God created me to fulfill a unique purpose. I have a special gift to offer the world. I feel like I need to have a one-on-one conversation with damn near all of you about this very card. The created me to fulfill a unique purpose part. Every time you hear me harping on learning your human design, you should probably learn your human design, learn your energy type, learn how you make decisions, learn your profile to learn what your big purpose is in this life, learn your incarnation cross to learn your big challenges. It's like, learn yourself. Why? Because you have a purpose. It's not just learn yourself because you ain't got shit else to do on a Tuesday afternoon. It's like, learn your process, learn your patterns, learn your habits and your tendencies. Learn why you do the things you do and why you don't do the things you want to do. It's like learning yourself is the order of the day for everybody. And the reason is so that you can unlock more of what your use and utility is, what your purpose is here. Okay? God created me to fulfill a unique purpose. I have a special gift to offer the world. Do you know what these special gifts are? Do you know? Like, I know you played the recorder in 5th grade, and you played the drums in the high school band, and you went on to college and got an athletic scholarship to do something over there, and another scholarship. Okay, that's great. Okay, but do you actually know that you have special talents that go beyond anything that you can have learned? Okay. Do you know that you have gifts that are just innately gifts that you have? It's like what nobody taught you how to do it. Okay. That's what this card speaks to. God created me to fulfill a unique purpose. I have a special gift to offer the world. Many of you think your special gifts are just the things that people can see you do well. For many of us, our gifts are quietly hidden inside of our personality. Our gifts come across in the way we treat other people or the way we go about treating ourselves. Our gifts come across in the way in which we engage our lifestyle, the way in which we engage our work, the way in which we manage our mental health. Our gifts often are things that people can't see. Okay. So when I say I need to work with so many of you on this, is because so many of you have gifts that you don't even recognize, because it's not a sport talent. You're not a musician. You're not an actor. You're not a this and you're not a that. But so many of you have gifts like quiet leadership, where people just want you to be in charge of shit because they just have a natural trust for your ability and your competency. That's a supernatural gift that so many of you have that you would just never know unless you started learning things about your human design. Some of you have a natural gift for selling things. And when you just naturally talk about something with the vigor and enthusiasm that is real to you, you naturally get other people excited to want to learn about it or want to buy it or want to experience it. You're natural salespeople, but you've never done sales a day in your professional life. So many of you have this gift, and you might turn your nose up at it. If I'm like, yeah, you're a natural salesperson, like, I don't know, because everybody hates sales. But if I start talking about how every time you do something, you start talking to other people about the thing that you found was cool that you did, now all of a sudden other people are interested, and you'd be like, yeah, people do it all the time. It's because you have a natural way of convincing people of what's important or what's useful or what's beneficial to them. And you're not even trying, and this is the gift that you bring. And there's so many other gifts like this and more that can be uncovered and unpacked when you start learning about your human design, how you are designed as a human. Okay. So we all do have special gifts, whether you want to think that or not. You might be looking at a cousin, a brother, a sibling like, yeah, they ain't got no gifts. Yeah, they do. Even them. They got something uniquely special that only they can do, that they are put on this earth to do. Even them. Okay, and it's not always obvious to the naked eye. Okay, sometimes it's a mindset or a value system or a belief system. Okay. Woo! All right, these ants are starting to take over my life, so I'm gonna move around. Remember, the word for today is surrender. And it's not about surrendering to everything all the time and anything, okay, but it is about feeling for where you are to surrender. It is about feeling for it. Asking yourself the question, is this a place where I'm holding on too tight? Is this a place where I need to let go? Okay. Asking yourself the question. You won't even need to ask yourself the question. If you just allow yourself to tap into the experience, you're going to sense very clearly, like, yeah, I know I'm doing too much right here. I need to just let it go. I need to just trust the process. I need to just have faith and hope that everything's going to be okay. And yeah, sometimes it is hope. Sometimes it's hope before it's faith, okay? That willingness to just lean into the possibility is hope. Like, I hope this works out, and the faith is what keeps you there, okay? So a lot of energy around that, kids. Identify what's keeping you up at night, Okay, what would make it better? What is the risk that you could take? Okay, and then take that risk because it's gonna work out. Okay, we're all sitting in our Empress energy, our males too. Doesn't matter. We're all sitting in a state of positive expectation, positive anticipation. It's not if it's gonna work out; it's a question of when. And we can sit in that knowing today, kids. Okay. All right, I love y'all so much. Anybody who wants to send me a tip or love donation, I welcome it. The details are in the show notes. Hit my Cash App, my PayPal. Love you so much. Appreciate you. Of course, I'll be back out in these streets Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 Eastern. This live, intuitive, channeled message just for the collective. If you want to book a private personal, of course, go to begreateveryday.com. I need to see some more of y'all, by the way. Okay, I need to see more of you one-on-one. If you spend time in this space and we've never met, or it's been a long time since we've had a face-to-face conversation, I welcome and invite you to book a clarity call. Okay? A lot of people like to use that as a catch-up session and start asking questions to give them more clarity. We're looking at the second half of the year. It's a good time for that. Okay, just kind of ground yourself in like, what am I doing for the rest of the year? What am I prioritizing? What am I working on or working toward that matters? Okay. If you need some support with that, of course, book a clarity call. If you've never had a human design reading, or even if you've had one, but it was a while ago and you don't quite remember and you're wanting to learn more about how to integrate this wisdom into your life, how do I actually live out my design so I can live with more ease? I welcome you to revisit a human design reading as well. And remember, when we do these readings, they're really, I'm calling it a reading. They're called consultations, but it really is a reading, okay? And that we use your human design body graph as an oracle. So the messages that we have for you on day one are probably going to be very basic to just you learning your basics of your design. But any session after that, we're going deeper. So if you want to learn more about your specific gifts and superpowers, tap in. This is what your gates and channels tell you on your human design chart. Your gifts and superpowers, okay? You're trying to figure out what's the big thing I need to be looking at in terms of my career or just how I show up in the world. What am I here to do? You want to be looking at your profile, okay? And I'll tell you all the details. You still need someone to support you in the interpretation and helping you kind of integrate this wisdom into your life. But if you want to at least know where to look on your body graph, you're trying to identify purpose, career, aligned work, look at your profile, look at your incarnation cross. Of course, look at your energy type. Okay, there's so many pieces of the body graph that just begin to unpack the story of you and all of your complexity. But some of these big pieces you can unpack it, by yourself, at least in some part. But if you need some support, of course, go to begreateveryday.com. Yeah. All right, I love y'all. I'm tapping out. Y'all be good to yourselves. Join me tomorrow, 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 Eastern, live intuitive channel message with me. Allah-mi. I love y'all. Be good to yourselves. Tap in tomorrow. Have a great day. No matter what. Be